Well, there have been some big updates in the world of AI video. For one, Pika is back with a 1.5 update. There's a lot to unpack there. We're going to go through everything. Plus, I've got to look at a new Kling feature and something new that is right on their heels. All that plus a quick look at an upcoming feature in Minimax. Okay, let's dive in. Kicking off, yes, Pika is back. I have been getting a lot of questions on like whatever happened to Pika. Well, it turns out they lost their password. Tongue in cheek for sure, but in really good news, Pika have reintroduced their free tier. Now, an unfortunate byproduct of everyone's favorite 4-letter F word is like Pika is pretty slagged as of right now. I did speak to Pika about this and they are working as hard as they can in bumping up resources, so this should be a temporary problem. So while normally I do like to get as hands-on as I possibly can with a model before I present it in a video to you, I figured we'd at least just take a look at what 1.5 is looking like. So 1.5 is a new model, and it is one that they are saying will provide more powerful generations to image to video and text to video generations. So taking a look at that with an example from the community feed, I believe this is image to video. There was no text prompt provided here, so this is just Pika 1.5 doing its thing. Overall, I think it's pretty decent. Really nice handheld movement on the camera there. Another image to video here looks fairly decent. Things that I'm always kind of looking out for. As our skateboarder kind of rounds the corner here, you can see that Pika, essentially has to hallucinate or make up what is behind this turn because, obviously that information is not provided. And you can see that it kind of more or less turns into a desert here, whereas, that initial image input definitely looks very, Northern California, Pacific Northwest, and that area, trust me, that would all be developed, I guarantee you. But I will say that the physics are pretty good. The skateboard does look like it's handling correctly, although I will say that her feet placement are definitely incorrect. But that said, her legs are definitely moving in the correct directions to control the skateboard, so that's something. 2 final comments on this, one from Young Tim, skateboarding is not a crime, and one from Old Tim, young lady, you should be wearing a helmet. Moving on to this young beatnik in training. Pretty decent here. The teeth look really good to me. If you've been around AI video for long enough, you definitely know that a lot of AI video teeth end up looking like they're from the Big Book of British Smiles. Yes, that is a Simpsons reference. That said, we do end up with wacky AI hands. We got teeth, we lost hands. I'm not going to dock them on this one. Hands, fingers, that's definitely been something of a long-standing struggle with AI video. We're getting closer. Now, one thing I did notice in Pika 1.5 is that in the controls, there is no longer camera controls. We do still have negative prompting, seeds, and aspect ratios, but we don't have like a fully featured suite of camera motion controls. And that's apparently because now all of the camera controls are now integrated into simply the text prompt. They do seem keen on showing this off with a bullet time effect. The prompt here is bullet time shot, 360 camera circling around the floating furniture. Now, the eye-catching feature in the 1.5 update is the new Pika effects, which include cakeify, inflate, explode, squish, melt, and crush. And yes, I will totally admit it is a bit silly. I know that most of us try to focus on our cinematic masterpieces, but look, sometimes you just gotta have a little fun too, and people are definitely having fun with it. So the one generation I did manage to get off was, taking my profile picture and then utilizing the squishify feature on it and ended up with this, which it's super disturbing. Hilarious though. Actually, while shooting this, another one of my generations just popped up. This one was using the meltify it feature. That is actually super terrifying. So there you go. Hilarious and terrifying. I mean, isn't that AI in a nutshell? Jesse Ma shows us the cake is a lie. Using this example, it actually turns out to be a balloon, I think somewhere over Turkey. Turkish people love their hot air balloons. And yeah, while most of these effects, while generally silly, Alex G New Media actually gives us a pretty decent use case in terms of like a VFX shot that you can utilize with Pika effects. Techhala utilized the exploded effect to blow up a car. And while yes, this might not be the most realistic car explosion we've ever seen, I mean, it definitely gets the message across, at least the message that, when you steal from The Godfather, this is going to happen. And again, I know that generations are taking forever right now. Like these two, my usual man in a blue business suit, they've been running for about, like an hour and a half right now. So my recommendation would definitely be to wait a day or two to kind of, let things settle down a bit. Finally, in terms of pricing, yes, once again, there is a free tier once again on Pika. That said, I would not recommend jumping up to one of these paid tiers, at least in these first few days, since apparently those that have jumped up to the standard and pro plans, they're still waiting in the same queue. So this is just genuinely a hardware issue currently. So again, maybe give it a day or two. And in the meantime, just collect a bunch of images of things that you want to squish or explode or cakeify. Moving on, Kling or Kling, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm probably still not pronouncing that correctly. Well, they have updated with a new feature, namely Lipsync. And it actually does a really great job as well. Just a few months back when I was working on Dead Sea, my AI pirate horror short film, obviously we did not have lip syncing nor Pika 1.5. The result at the time looked a little bit like this.
Damned, you say? Oh, lad. Let me tell you a story about being damned.
I mean, not horrible, but obviously it was fairly frustrating because I was just generating a lot of Captain Renfield and then just trying to, find an output where his mouth movement kind of matched the dialogue. Now, at the time, in terms of lip syncing, the best that I could manage was this. And to note, this is actually not the same line of dialogue nor the same shot. As it turns out, I'm really bad at preserving archives of short video clips.
So, why you be wanting to join a crew? Is it for the gold?
So yeah, that is obviously not very good. So let's try this whole thing over now with the Kling 1.5 model and the new lip sync function, which you can find by simply hitting the match mouth type button under here. And then you can upload a audio source.
So, why you be wanting to join a crew? Is it for the gold?
So yeah, overall, that is a marked improvement. Now, I will say that there is still a little bit of wonk in the lip movement. But again, as I discussed in our Kling 1.5 first look, this is a really, really heavily shadowed shot. So I think it might have some problems in terms of tracking mouth movement there. But, overall, again, really solid. El City also had some fun with the Kling lip syncer, utilizing, of all things, the new ChatGPT voice assistant. Here's a little scene from a thriller.
Alyssa, it's me. I'm home alone, and the power just went out. Now someone's knocking on my door, and I don't know what to do.
Both of those examples are characters in very low-key light situations. Luckily, our friend Ryan Phillips, aka Uncanny Harry, gave us this example.
I'm not lonely. Be nice to talk to people from time to time. Look them in the eye.
So yeah, that looks really fantastic. Probably my only quibble is the fact that he kind of licks his lips at one point there. That's kind of weird, and does not necessarily look great. That tongue definitely looks way too red. He should probably see a doctor about that. Hot on the heels of this new wave of lip syncing tools, we do also have LipDub AI. Now, I haven't got my hands on this one yet. It is in beta, so you can sign up to join the beta. But once again, our man of the hour, Ryan Phillips, aka Uncanny Harry, did get his hands on it and was able to pull this off utilizing Gen 3 Turbo.
I mean, it's really starting to freak me out now. It's crazy. A year and a half ago, I was generating videos that look like Commodore 64 games, and now they're photorealistic. It's insane. I mean, isn't it starting to freak you out? Isn't it doing your head in? Where's it going to end?
Yeah, that's pretty remarkable. Now, I will say that there are a couple of stutters in here, but it's a 30-second clip, so I'm pretty sure that Ryan had to utilize a first frame, last frame trick on this. But, again, don't judge it on that. Just look at the lip motion. Now, where LipDub actually gets actually kind of crazy good is when you utilize actual video as opposed to AI generated footage. They posted up an example utilizing one of my favorite TV shows, The Bear. And as a quick side note, if you have not seen The Bear, I highly recommend The Bear. Watch, I'm going to make everyone that has seen it simultaneously pump their fists and start crying at the same time with just one word: forks. So taking this scene of Jeremy Allen White, I mean, obviously, shot in English, LipDub is able to translate it into French.
Mon frère peut te rendre confiant en toi-même. Tu sais, donc quand j'étais gamin, si j'étais nerveux, j'avais peur, je ne voulais pas faire quelque chose, il me disait toujours de simplement faire face, tu sais, de le surmonter. Il disait toujours, stupide.
What's really interesting to my ear is that it really does kind of sound like it's someone speaking French with an American accent. Again, Please, French speakers, let me know in the comments. Once again, LipDub.ai is in open beta, so go over there and sign up so that you can try it out. Once I get access to it, I will definitely do a full run through. Rounding out, 2 pieces of news from Minimax, the free AI video generator that I've actually covered on the channel quite a bit. First off, they have launched an English localized language website. So if you hit the link down below, that should take you to the English version of Minimax. Secondly, image to video is coming. Apparently, a couple of users managed to get access to it for just a brief window. They happened to be online at just the right time while they were testing it. And yeah, image to video coming to Minimax. It's looking pretty good too. This was one output generated via image to video. So that output was by Wolfie over on the Discord. And given the fact that the UI posted here looks like it's from mobile, my guess is that that's an actual photograph that Wolfie took, in a grocery store when the feature dropped. Brad Hunt's got this output out of image to video. Yeah, looks very cool. A lot of spooky season stuff being generated right now. And Tynamore got this shot off. Now, I'm not sure if the mystical square is supposed to float up to our guy. Maybe he's a Jedi. I don't know. If it's not intended, hey, it's still AI video. If it is intended, that's pretty amazing. So that's it for today's updates. Now, I do think that I will be back pretty soon. There's like a slew of stuff coming through October. So I don't know. We'll be seeing each other again very soon. In the meantime, I thank you for watching. My name is Tim.